All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Realtor Lunch and Learn. My name is Dawn Clark. I am here representing United Credit Education Services. I am a regional sales director. I am sitting in downtown Miami, Florida. For the purpose of this meeting, I just want to make sure that we have a little housekeeping. First off, if you have any questions, please do make sure you're writing those questions down. We want to make sure that your questions get answered, but because of the shortened timeline for this particular webinar, we don't always get to the questions during the webinar. So we do have a Q&A at the end. If you have questions, if you don't mind, either write them down and get back to the person who invited you, or wait until the end of the Q&A and we'll answer any questions as relates to the platform and the services. So again, welcome. My name is Dawn, and I appreciate your time this afternoon. We're going to get right to it. I am going to record this session. So if you do not want your picture to be shown on the webinar, you want to make sure that you have your camera off. I just like to let people have that option. I'll start the recording now. Okay, so the Lunch and Learn, the purpose of this is for a limited audience, and that is people that are in our real estate kind of interests across the United States, to have an idea of how we use this platform to help people get better credit, and also how some realtors are using this platform as an additional source of income, so they're able to create a throughput from people who need credit repair and help all the way through to the closing table. So our platform allows us to do that, not just for our agents, but also for agents who know other agents, right? And so this Lunch and Learn, I do this every single Wednesday to give people a really quick overview of the platform. And then of course, the person who invited you to the platform would be able to give you some more detailed information as you want to learn more. All right, so the agenda for today is how we can prepare clients for home purchases, a review of the confidential, easy to use client portal, and then a review of how the actual referral programs work, right? So you'll see across the top here, we actually do handle our clients' evictions and child support, late payments, tax liens, repossessions, charge-offs, collections, student loans, foreclosures, and much more that are on their credit report. Inquiries as well, we handle those as well. So we are a company, United Credit Education Services, that was founded in 2004. We're headquartered in Farmington Hills, Michigan. We have a consistently strong annual sales growth, and even during the pandemic have been able to actually beat sales records for the past 3 months. Not only sales from a client perspective, but agents all across the country are enrolling because they see the power of utilizing this platform to grow their own businesses. They're either their ancillary services or businesses separate and aside from what they're currently doing. We are a debt-free company. That is to say that we owe nothing to no one. We don't owe for the company headquarters. We don't owe for bank loans. We don't have that. We also have had the same key executives since the inception of the company. And so what this means to me is that, having come from corporate America in a prior life, this means that the executives here are committed to exposing great services and committing to have a platform that provides a solid base for not just our clients, but also our agents. I'm going to talk quickly through some of the slides that we share on our larger webinars and for our agents and for our clients. The bottom line is, most of the people that come across, that walk into real estate companies and that realtors across the country and brokers across the country are talking to, they don't understand how to manage their money, right? So they know they want to buy a house. They may have even saved a significant amount, or they're using their tax returns or some other type of funds that they inherited to buy houses, but they do not know how to master their money. So they may have money, but they haven't learned how to master it. This was actually my personal story. When I started the business, I actually was making well over 6 figures and had been for many, many years, but had no idea how to use what I was making to make more. And so even though I was making a lot of money, I still had terrible credit. I also didn't own a property. There were lots of things that I just had never done. I was used to spending money and not mastering it. And bottom line is, most people across the United States and even probably around the world are not taught financial literacy. right? So when you have people come into your facility, you may ask them about their debt to income ratio. They have no idea what that means, right? Because we're taught how to make cookies and how to bake brownies and even how to fold clothes in our economic classes, and our social studies classes, but we aren't told actually what a debt to income ratio is generally, until maybe even through college. You're not taught that. So this platform will allow our clients to do that. So I'm going to share just quickly 5 shocking facts that most clients don't know about their finances. The first is that most Americans, have credit card debt, and they are drowning in $1.057 trillion in that as of 16 months ago. Imagine with COVID, this amount probably has doubled because we're all living to some extent off of our credit cards, right? 56% of the people in the United States have no rainy day fund. So this actually applies very closely to real estate, right? When people come into your offices, they have their savings, which they've saved for a house, but they don't ever imagine that the roof is going to collapse during the next hurricane or rainy season, or that the sump pump is going to go bad, right? So they may have their amount that they've saved, but they have no rainy day funds. Even after they've purchased, they have no idea how they're going to manage something going wrong. 46% of baby boomers have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. So I talk on my larger webinars about this all the time. Basically, when you see those gray-haired people that are sitting in Walmart or they're standing in the front of Target and they're very happy, they're probably there not because they love the brand or because they want the exercise or even that they're bored. They're probably there because they need help paying their Medicare premiums, or they need money to pay for a piece of their rent because they didn't have enough saved for retirement. 48% of all millennials have spent money they didn't have to keep up with their friends, and most kept it a secret. So this is an interesting statistic because I remember being millennial aged, right, and going to Jamaica and not having money to pay the exit tax, or going over to Cancun even when I was in my 20s, and I had friends that were there. And while I had done, a cash trip, they were spending money on their credit cards, which they wouldn't have the ability to pay back for a year after they got off vacation. This is common, right? And even this is a particularly interesting statistic as you think about millennials who are not going into home purchases right away. They're spending their money as opposed to investing their money. So our platform is here to help educate them. And then 43 million Americans have a credit score of 599 or less. So obviously, we all know that, especially in the real estate industry, you've seen where Chase is actually increasing their underwriting rules, right? They're tightening up their rules. The no-doc mortgages are going away to some extent. People aren't writing B, C, and D paper for mortgages, right? So everything is being tightened up. And I was watching something on MSNBC where it said that actually 1.5% of Americans have less than an 800 credit score. That means the majority of the people cannot get a paper written for a mortgage. This is a problem, right? So our platform is meant to increase their financial literacy. Poor credit fills people with anxiety, embarrassment, frustration, fear, and confusion. I think that this is probably the number one reason why folks don't buy houses. They know their credit's poor. They have no idea how they're going to talk to somebody about what they don't know. And they're embarrassed that they are at age 30 or 20 or 60 and have never actually fixed their credit or talked about why they haven't owned a home. So the next time, I'd like you to, if you're in this chat and you're a real estate agent, ask somebody what's taken them so long. And they're going to tell you one or two things. They didn't really know, right? Which could be one of these 5 reasons on the screen. Or they did know, but they had poor credit and they weren't ready to work on it. Or they were scared they couldn't get the deal done, right? The number one reason they're scared they can't get the deal done is because they're uneducated about finances. Do that little thing for me, and let's talk about what that looks like. If you would care to share, I'd love to hear if you ask them that question. In contrast, when you have people that have strong credit, they come in confident. They know that they're at an 800 and can get the best interest rate on a mortgage. Even if they're at 700, they know they're not going to be having to pay too much more out of pocket to get their houses, right? They feel excited and abundant for the house they're about to buy. Ultimately, a good credit score opens up possibility to create the lifestyle that people really want to secure the future they envision for themselves. So the American dream becomes more in focus with people who have good credit. The bottom line is that. All right, so our platform is committed to helping families build, organize, and protect their financial future. And then the how that we do that, so that was the what. The how we do it is with this protection plan membership. So we have 12 really wonderful products that help, especially new home buyers or people that are trying to get on top of things financially, to organize, build, and protect their finances. Obviously, the one thing we talk most about is credit restoration. But when you imagine that most people don't have an idea of how they're going to pay off their current student loans, right? Or they don't know what their net worth is before they purchase a home, or even after they purchase. They don't understand how to create a savings goal. They don't have budgeting expertise. So our platform actually gives them that in one place. The credit restoration piece obviously is what most people need as they're first starting to talk about their finances to get in place for buying a home. That credit restoration piece allows us to maximize people's financial opportunities. We do have a credit builder, which is our educational piece built right into the platform. We have the ability for our clients and agents to actually monitor their credit as part of their monthly fee. We have ability for them to talk to a credit attorney if someone is coming after them for garnishment or coming after them with some hard talk. They can actually get in touch with our credit attorneys in our corporate office and get the information they need. The organized piece is what we're talking about as people start preparing to buy homes. They need budgeting help, right? They need to understand what their net worth is. Net worth is very closely tied to debt to income, right? Because if they can't figure out how much they owe, they can't figure how much they're worth. So this net worth calculator is built in, and it gives people the understanding of how to manage what they're worth. The debt payoff calculator is a big one. As someone is preparing for their home purchase, they need to understand how to pay off things very quickly, right? So a lot of people are using this to actually see if their minimum payments are going to make their what it looks like. Are you going to be able to pay off in 20 years or in 10 years? And then as they start layering in this 30-year mortgage, they can look at how they're able to pay off that 30-year mortgage. They can capitalize on what they're saving in their budgeting platform to go into their debt payoff platform. The will and trust is critically important as people start buying homes, right? People are meeting their demise every single day. And without a will and trust and powers of attorney, no one knows what they would want to do with those assets. So if you're on a call and you are interested in the will and trust, we actually do sell this separately for $500. But as part of our platform of protecting our clients' financial futures, we offer this as a wizard free of charge to all of our clients. This is a big one. If they purchase a home, their second thing they should be doing is creating a will and trust documents so that people understand what's happening with that. And then the savings goal, if someone is still trying to figure out how they take their budget, pay down their debt, and create a savings goal, we have a calculator built in. We have a platform, so as people buy homes, they need to go to Home Depot. They need to go to Lowe's. They need to perhaps buy something for their new pet, right? They need to buy a pet house or something like that, a dog house. All right. So our Shop for Less actually gives them cash back. I actually use it to leverage because I'm shopping all the time. So when you go into my dashboard or in my back office, you'll see that my available cash is substantial because I use this Shop for Less to be able to get cash back, which I can apply towards a debt. Our roadmap is built into our application. So this actually shows kind of a 12-month roadmap. But as I told you, we have 12 products, and all of those are built in from day one. So I always, this number 4, begin the will and trust wizard, I always tell people you want to activate your restoration services, you want to turn on your credit monitoring, you want to set up your identity protection, and you always want to start your will and trust wizard so that no matter where you are in the process, you're going to be protected very quickly after starting our services. As they go through the program, you're going to see where they're going to be working towards kind of building and organizing their life, right? So that's what this roadmap does for them. This roadmap actually lives inside of our application as well as our dashboard on the computer. So you'll see this right here, and there's a roadmap that lives inside of this screenshot, and they can actually travel through that as they access the application from our protection plan from their application. If you're interested in this, just to see what it looks like, kind of the client facing view, you can go ahead and download that directly from the App Store or the Google Play Store so that you can see what we have to offer as well. So the program actually only costs $188 for your client. So if you'd like to sign a client up for our program, you want to get back to the person who invited you, we actually have a way that we can track on that for you. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then their monthly subscription is $89. So I can tell people on this call that most of our clients stay enrolled between 4 and 6 months. So imagine if you're able to get someone actually credit qualified in about 4 to 6 months. This is huge. Right? I used to be a realtor many, many moons ago, about 113 years ago when I lived in Chicago, I was a realtor. And I can tell you that when I talked to buyers, they came in perplexed, right? They saw a for sale sign, they're pregnant or they just got married. And they're like, yes. And they come in and I say, all right, let's talk about your credit. And they both look at each other like, well, we think it's okay, right? Imagine if you're able to take, and I think it's okay to, yes, we're ready in under 6 months, right? That's an immediate win for not just you as an agent, but your clients. And of course, they have access to all 12 of those products. So I talked a little bit ago about the referral program. The referral program is set up to be able to give you as the realtor an opportunity to recommend the clients the opportunity to get their services for free. So the customer referral program, if they themselves sign up as clients and they want to save that $89, that is the monthly recurring, they actually can refer people to the program and track on that in their application to be able to get their services for free. We also have a nice way for you as a real estate agent to get your customers to us. We have a couple of ways. We have the referral portal, where you have a referral portal which allows you to put in your referrals and you can see their progress in real time. I'm going to show you that in a second. You also are able to share another agent's website. So if I was an agent and I invited a realtor to this, I can give a realtor a link that they can load their clients directly into our application and track on that in the agent tool, right? So you've got the referral portal, you've got the agent website, and then you can actually join us as an agent and earn an additional stream of income while our credit attorneys do the work. So those are the 3 ways that as a realtor or a broker or someone who needs credit qualified clients that you can access our services. I'll show you really quickly what the referral portal looks like. And this is a snapshot of the back office, right? So as an agent, I log in, I see the referral source dialog. I can add a referral source here. When I add the referral source, they get an email and a link and a username and login. Then when they put somebody into their portal, get an email, as do I, and it tells me that, this is my son's name, it tells me that Zion would want to buy March 2021. So then me as the credit consultant, I now know to contact Zion and get him started with his services. We have lots of customers. Last month, I think we signed up 100,000 customers, or we're up to 100,000 in customers. And you can see that we have a lot of customers that are satisfied, over 150 points within 6 weeks. My score rose over 50 points. After 6 months, 98% of the items cleared up, 200 points up. This one right here really means that somebody is able to leverage buying a home at the best rate possible. 200 points, you guys. Some of our clients come in the 400 range for one person. So to be able to give someone 200 points within 6 months is legendary. We have lots of results. I'm just going to share a couple. People going up 82 points, people making it back to the 600 club. People having, you can see when you read this, when I read it, I had to crack up. I laughed out loud because you've got someone saying, oh my God, my score went up 84 points. This is the stuff of legends, right? People are praying for this type of thing so they can get into the house they want. They may have this, they also come into the office and like, oh, I want a $300,000 home. And you're like, not with that credit score, right? Because the rate that I can get you will get you a house half that, right? So this is life-changing. Couple other people where they're learning from the platform how to use our platform after bankruptcy to get credit cards, and they're also learning how not to overutilize their cards, right? So just a couple of snapshots. We're able to delete care credit, student loans, Chapter 13 and 7 bankruptcies, civil judgments, Verizon Wireless, right? Lots of U.S. Department of Education, those are bankruptcies. We can delete private loans and auto loans or repossessions. We can delete medical bills. This slide right here, I really love because it shows the impact of bad credit, right? So when you're looking at a $250,000 home here in Miami, that's a 2-bedroom condo. If you have a high credit score, that's a $1,200 payment. That's doable for somebody, right? A small family can do a $1,200 payment with even one person working a regular job. When you have damage credit, though, look at how that payment balloons almost double, right? So that means that both parents are going to have to work, maybe even overtime. If we can get them in this $250,000 home with a 700 credit score versus a 580 credit score, if even we can get that finance, that is life-changing for a client. So the bottom line is my goal is to make sure that we're able to get people the help they need, and really in a time frame that helps them grow fairly quickly into home ownership. I'm going to actually ask a realtor that's on our team to join the call now. Octavia, I'm going to click to ask you to unmute. Can you unmute yourself? Sorry, Imani, not Octavia, Imani. All right, sorry, thank you very much. Imani is actually in our North Carolina market, and she's an agent with the company. I just wanted you to share very briefly how you got associated with the organization, and any information you can share us as relates to how you're leveraging this to help your clients, I think would be valuable for this call. I'm going to mute out. Take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much just for allowing me to speak and definitely present this amazing information. For me personally, when I found this opportunity, I was actually scrolling along Instagram where I found my mentor who introduced me to the company. And when I found it, it was exactly what I needed, because I was just starting out as a struggling realtor, trying to get myself and my clients to the closing table. And it just didn't happen that way, because so many of my clients were coming to me with bad credit. They had all the other qualifications, but the credit was the issue. So me personally, trying to figure out how to build my own credit score back after having actually a couple cards charged off, I definitely needed a resource that was going to be able to help me. So I actually connected with this program. I've been able to help, first and foremost, myself increase 148 points and learn more about credit to actually help my clients. And then I had a client who I put on the services, and she actually saw a 130-point increase just in within 90 days of joining those services. So if I wasn't sold before, I was definitely sold then. And ever since, I put every single one of my clients who had issues on the program. Now, because, coming into real estate, I actually started off as an investor and then got into real estate as a realtor. And I was thinking that I was going to love real estate. And I actually found, I know some of you are probably buyer agents and love it, but for me personally, I didn't. I did not love driving people around in their, in my car and spending my gas and waiting 2 to 3 months to close that check. So now with this opportunity, I've actually been able not only to get my clients approved and get to the closing table, but also to create a sustainable referral business and actually help other realtors get their clients approved and send them right back to you so you can close that deal. So it's been an amazing opportunity for me to earn some additional income and then also build a sustainable real estate business. So thank you so much, Don, for just sharing this information and having me on the platform. I greatly appreciate it.
Awesome. Wow. How many points? Tell me again, how many points did your credit go up?
Mine went up 148 points.
And that was in what time frame? Just curious.
Yeah, that was actually within my first 90 days, as a matter of fact.
Wow. That means something. And so as a realtor, you obviously know that, that is the difference again between no house and a house in some cases, or a house and an awesome house, right? Because we all have we can get you in this house, but with 100+ points, there's this one, right? At the same cost. For me, that's why it's this platform is valuable. Am I tracking right on that?
Absolutely. I agree. Like I said, every client I've had on it, for me, I was like, okay, great, it's worked for me. But my clients, when I started seeing their deletions and I started seeing their score improvements, I said, okay, great. Yeah, I need to put all my clients who have issues with this. Definitely.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. Listen, we are at the 30 minutes after. I know we started 5 minutes late, but I want to unshare my screen because if anyone has any questions as relates to this platform or how we're using it or how you can use it, please, now is the time. Anyone have any questions? Octavia, I'm not sure whether you're still hearing us. I know, Chanel, you're on. Any questions about how we're going to be able to use this platform to help not only our clients, but other agents? If there's no questions, that's okay. All right, so listen, thank you all so much for joining. I'm going to make this recording available to you to share. I ask that you do that freely because at the end of the day, the more information we get out to our clients and other agents, the more we're going to be able to impact our communities at large, right? I'm in Miami, Chanel's in Columbus, Imani's in North Carolina. It's time to up the ante and get people in homes. That's what it's about for me. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you. Bye-bye.